Alternating sinusoidal current part 1. We know that voltage or current can be either DC or AC. A direct current is a current where charges flow in one direction. For example, a DC power supply or battery. This graph represents the voltage versus time or current versus time graph of an ideal battery. It supplies a constant voltage with respect to time. This graph represents an alternating sinusoidal current voltage. This voltage varies with respect to time. At any instant, or as time varies, the voltage increases, only the voltage will decrease. The voltage varies with respect to time. The voltage is alternatively positive or negative. From 0 to this instant, the voltage is positive. From this instant t1 to this instant t2, the voltage is negative, and this voltage is periodic. It repeats itself identically. It can be divided into repeating units. For example, a low frequency generator اللي هو AC source and alternator are examples on AC voltage. هلا بهيدي السلايد أو بهيدا البارت من الدرس وبنتعرف على characteristics of an alternating sinusoidal voltage. The characteristics of an alternating sinusoidal current voltage are the maximum voltage, the effective voltage, period, frequency, and angular frequency. The maximum voltage and the period can be calculated using an oscilloscope. U max equals to SV times Y. T equals to SH times X. To determine the maximum voltage, we need the amplitude. Y represents the vertical number of divisions for a crest, for a peak. And SV, the vertical sensitivity اللي هو scale اللي هو voltage corresponding to one vertical division. يعني for example, if SV equals to 5 volts per division, يعني each division vertically corresponds to 5 volts. And in this case, Y equals 3 complete divisions, therefore the voltage will be 15 volts SV times Y. For an oscillogram, the horizontal axis is for time, the vertical axis for voltage. An oscilloscope is a device used to display voltage as a function of time. Type X represents the number of horizontal divisions for one cycle, 2 consecutive crests or 2 consecutive peaks, or on axis for one cycle, or from trough to trough. Similarly, SH, time corresponding to one horizontal division. For example, if SH equals to 2 milliseconds per division, and in this case X equals to 4 divisions, therefore the period will be SH times X and the period will be 8 milliseconds. 4 times 2. يعني using the oscilloscope we can find U max by applying this rule SV times Y and the period SH times X. هيدي ال SV 5 volts per division. هلا from U max we can find U effective. We divide Um by radical 2, and from period we can find the frequency and angular frequency. Frequency equals to 1 over T, omega equals to 2 pi F or 2 pi over T. طيب, any sinusoidal current or any sinusoidal voltage has this form. If U is a sinusoidal voltage, therefore U can be written or has a form of U equals to Um sine omega t plus phi, Also I equals to I am sine or cosine omega t plus phi. And the phase difference between I and U is phi I minus phi U, and phi U with respect to I هي phi U minus phi I. آخر شغلة هي comparison between two signals. عادة using an oscilloscope we can display two voltages at the same time using two channels. For example, U and A and B are two sinusoidal voltages. In this case, we notice that at the same instant, A and B reach their maximum values. Therefore, in this case, these two waveforms or these two signals are said to be in phase. يعني two signals are in phase if they reach their maximum value at the same instant, and the phase difference between these two signals is zero, no phase difference. They are in phase. The second case, in this case, these two voltages are not in phase. In this case, the waveform A reaches its maximum value before B. In this case, A leads B or B lags behind A. هون A leads B since it reaches its maximum value before. هلا to calculate the phase difference between two signals we need the number of horizontal divisions for one complete cycle. The two signals must have the same period, frequency and omega. يعني إذا بتلاحظوا من هون لهون عندنا 4 divisions والجراي 1 من هون لهون كمان عندنا 4 divisions. The number of divisions between the two signals is 4 divisions, and the separation between the two signals, which is small x, equals 1 division. In this case, phi equal 2 pi small x over capital X equals 2 pi times small x1 over capital X4. It will be pi over 2, and in this case, phi A with respect to B, since A leads B, is pi over 2, and phi B with respect to A is minus pi over 2. يعطيكم العافية.